FIFO versus LIFO inventory cost problem 2. Lemon Company purchased 130 units for $30 each on January 31st. It purchased 200 units for $35 each on February 28th. It sold 200 units for $60 each from March 1st through December 31st. If the company uses the first in, first out inventory costing method, what is the amount of cost of goods sold on the income statement for the year ending December 31st? Assume that the company uses a perpetual inventory system. Our good friend, FIFO versus LIFO. Let's jump into this. Remember, anytime you have a FIFO versus LIFO question, first thing, determine what the question is asking. Second thing, determine what method is used. We're told the question is, what is the amount of cost of goods sold on the income statement for the year? Also, we know the company uses the FIFO method, the first in, first out method. Now, once you do those two things, we're going to set up chronologically in order the units acquired in layers. So we're told on January 31st, Lemon Company purchased 130 units for $30 each. That's layer 1. So layer 1, 130 units at, and I use a dollar sign for the price, at $30 each, and we get our total amount there. You can calculate that. I'm not going to do it because you're jumping the gun. It could just be completely eliminated depending on what you're calculating. Next, we're told on February 28th, we're told there's 200 units purchased by the company at $35 each. So a few things to note. We have increasing prices, so prices are increasing. They could decline. We could go the opposite direction. We could go from 40 to 35 or 35 to 30 or 25 to 20. And then that would be, if you were asked a conceptual question, you could determine from that what's going on. Another thing to note is that remember what's going on here. These two layers that are being purchased by Lemon Company, they're identical products. No differences in terms of the items. It happens all the time. Prices of various raw materials, they increase even though they're the same thing. Like lumber is a perfect example. Lumber goes up over time or goes down over time depending on the market. And it's the same lumber. You can have differences in lumber, but we're assuming it's exactly the same. All right. The question's asking for cost of goods sold. We're told company sold 200 units for $60 each from March 1st through December 31st. Now, the $60 each, that's a red herring. When it comes to cost of goods sold, we're just focusing on not the sales price, but the price, the cost. That's the $30 each and the $35 each. The key, though, is FIFO, right, which is first in, first out, also known as LISH, LISH, last in, still here. FIFO means that the first layer is the first one to go, and then the last layer is the last one to go, in that order chronologically. Now, we're told in this problem that the sales take place from March 1st through December 31st. So that means that these two layers on January 31st and February 28th were acquired before any sales took place, making the question a lot easier. All right, so this is not too difficult. FIFO, we're selling 200 units. So think about it. We're selling 200 units. We go to the first layer. We go in order from the top down. We go from the top down. That's what FIFO is. LIFO, we're going to do the reverse order, bottom up. So we're going from the top down. 200 units. Do we cover enough? Do we have enough in the first layer to cover this? No, we don't. In fact, we're going to eliminate the entire first layer. Now, because we're doing cost of goods sold calculation, we sell 200, 130 at $30 each. We need to put that on there. Okay, next, we've got 200 in the second layer at 35. Is that enough to cover? Yes, it is. Specifically, 200 minus the 130 that we took from layer 1, we need 70 from layer 2. So from layer 1, we took all 130. From layer 2, we take 70 at $35. And this is our cost of goods sold. This is the cost of the units going out because of the order. This is the cost of the units going out because of the order. So 130 at $30 is going to be $3,900. And then 700 at 35 is $2,450. When we add those numbers together, we get $63.50. And that is our answer. The cost of goods sold is $63.50. Now, before we conclude, how would you get the ending inventory for this question? Remember, ending inventory, FIFO is LIFO. Last in, still here, so the last unit's left. Well, we got rid of the first layer, right, completely. There's nothing left. All gone. All gone. Second layer, we used up 70 of layer 2. 70 of layer 2. So that means that we're going to be left with 130 units at $35 each, which is $4,550. That's the ending inventory. That's not the answer to the question. The answer to the question is the cost of goods sold, which, remember, we calculated that before as $6,350. $6,350. That is the cost of goods sold in terms of the inventory that Lemon has sold. So just keep that in mind. Remember, this is FIFO. We've done FIFO. If you did LIFO, you'd have a different application, a different answer. We went through cost of goods sold, which is what we're asking, but I also wanted to calculate ending inventory to show you how to do that. Again, if you're asked conceptually a question about FIFO versus LIFO, this is FIFO of rising prices. What you can do if you're asked about comparing and contrasting situations is you can kind of plug numbers in different situations, FIFO versus LIFO, once you go through all the problems, FIFO versus LIFO, and from that you can get a better understanding of where you are in one situation versus another.